What if the person you love the most starts giving everything to the world except to you? What if work becomes their first love and family is left waiting in silence? This is my story of how love can slowly drown in deadlines and emails until one choice changes everything. My name is Lily Parker. I'm 31 years old and I live in Boston, Massachusetts. From the outside, my life looked perfect. A loving husband, a beautiful 6-year-old daughter, and a cozy home filled with laughter. But behind the smiles, there was a truth I never wanted to admit. I was slowly losing my family to something invisible: work. My husband, Nathan, wasn't always this way. When we first met in college, he was warm, full of life, and so present in every little moment. He loved to surprise me with midnight drives, flowers on random Tuesdays, and endless conversations that stretched until sunrise. That's the man I married, a man who promised, standing at the altar, that family would always come first. But somewhere along the way, life happened. Bills piled up, opportunities came knocking, and Nathan threw himself into his career. He became a corporate lawyer, climbing the ladder faster than anyone else at his firm. I was proud of him, so proud. But pride slowly turned into pain when I realized he wasn't climbing alone. He was leaving us behind on the ground. At first, it was small things: missing dinner because of one more meeting, forgetting to call when he promised, working late into the night instead of reading our daughter her bedtime story. I told myself it was temporary, that once he settled, things would go back to normal. But temporary stretched into months, and months turned into years. Our daughter Sophie adored her father. Every night she would sit by the window waiting for his car headlights to appear. She would ask me, "Mommy, will Daddy tuck me in tonight?" And every time I'd smile weakly and say, "Maybe tomorrow, sweetheart." Tomorrow became the cruelest word in our home. One evening, Sophie had her school recital, her very first time on stage. She practiced for weeks, humming her little song around the house, her eyes sparkling with excitement. I reminded Nathan 3 times, sent him text, even circled the date on the fridge calendar. But when the curtain rose and Sophie looked out into the crowd, searching for her daddy's face, his chair was empty. I'll never forget the way her smile faltered, the way her little shoulders slumped. Yet she sang anyway, braver than I ever could be. Afterward, she ran into my arms, whispering, "Maybe Daddy will come next time." And that night, as I tucked her in, my heart broke in silence, because deep down, I wasn't sure there would be a next time. When Nathan finally came home past midnight, tie loosened, eyes glued to his phone, I asked softly, "Do you even know what today was?" He blinked, confused, then sighed, "Lily, I told you, I had a case deadline. My job is what keeps this house standing." His words cut deeper than any silence. I whispered back, "No, Nathan, your job is what's tearing this house apart." The weeks that followed were colder than winter. We barely spoke beyond shallow exchanges about bills and groceries. Sophie stopped waiting at the window. She stopped asking about bedtime stories. And I stopped hoping. Then came the breaking point: Sophie's 7th birthday. I planned a small party at home, balloons, cake, and her favorite chocolate ice cream. She wore a pink dress, twirling around, giggling with her friends, but her eyes never left the door. She was waiting for the only gift she truly wanted: her daddy. But Nathan never showed. Hours passed, candles melted, and Sophie's laughter faded into quiet disappointment. When the last guest left, she sat on the couch holding her unopened birthday gift and whispered, "Mommy, maybe Daddy doesn't love me enough." Those words shattered me. No child should ever question their parents' love. I tucked her in that night, then sat alone in the dark living room, my heart boiling with anger. When Nathan finally stumbled in, smelling like stress and coffee, I couldn't hold back anymore. I stood up, tears streaming, and said, "Nathan, you are losing us. You think work is saving this family, but it's killing it. You missed her recital, her birthday, her childhood. And one day, she won't even look for you anymore." He froze, his face pale, his phone slipping from his hand. For the first time in years, I saw guilt in his eyes. He whispered, "Lily, I'm doing this for you, for Sophie." I shook my head, sobbing. "We never asked for money, Nathan. We asked for you." That night was the first night Nathan slept on the couch. Not because I asked him to, but because he didn't dare face the truth lying in Sophie's bedroom down the hall. The next morning, he didn't go to work. Instead, he drove Sophie to school himself. She clung to him, surprised, her little arms wrapped tight around his neck, and I saw his eyes glisten with tears. Maybe something inside him finally broke, or maybe it finally healed. Over the next weeks, he started coming home earlier. At first, it felt strange, having dinner together, hearing Sophie giggle as he read bedtime stories, watching him leave his phone in the other room. He wasn't perfect, old habits tugged at him, but he was trying. One night, after Sophie had gone to bed, he sat next to me and whispered, "I almost lost everything that mattered because I thought success meant sacrifice. But now I know work will never hold my hands when I'm old. Work will never call me daddy. Work will never love me back the way you and Sophie do." I looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time in a long time, I saw the man I fell in love with. Tears rolled down my cheeks as I whispered back, "Then don't forget it, Nathan. Don't let us become second place again." And he promised, holding my hand tight, "Never again." Today, when I see Sophie running into her father's arms at school pickup, when I watch him leave work emails unanswered to play board games with us, I realize something important. Love isn't destroyed by work. It's destroyed by neglect. And sometimes you don't need more hours in the day. You just need to give the hours you already have to the people who matter most. So if you're listening to my story tonight and you've been putting work before family, take this as your sign. Money will always come and go, but the moments you miss with family, they never come back. Because at the end of the day, jobs don't cry when you're gone, but families do.